Welcome back to Northamptonshire Football Podcast. This week we're joined by Will Oelrich. Will, how are you getting on?
Yeah, right lads, how are you?
Yeah, good mate, good.
Good.
And Sam's with me as normal. Sam, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Yourself, mate?
Yeah, good mate, all good.
Good.
Tell us about your football this week. You had a big day at Sixfields.
I did have a big day at Sixfields, yeah. Finn getting to the Cobblers Cup final.
Yeah.
It was a really good game against a former rival, shall we say, which was always the sweeter. Finn getting the assist in the final was always good.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
And celebrating like I'd won the Champions League was always better, even better.
Picture, yeah. How did you get on with your counterpart that day?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, to an extent.
Said the better, is it? One of them.
All I know is that my team got the big W and he's got the big L. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Fair play. No, fair play. Obviously, big game coming up this week as well for yourself.
Yeah, so my under-9s academy side at Diamonds have got Norwich City.
Nice.
Yeah, big game. Good
man. Have you had a look at their form?
Of course, mate, you know me. But my scouting background doesn't allow me not to look at teams that we're about to play. I've seen their recent form. I don't want to be too big-headed, but I feel apart from the big academies in the county, I've got the best players available. So
nice.
Let's see what happens.
Good man. Well, have you had much football this week?
No, not much. We were Hunsbury Hawks were invited down to the Carlsberg Cup at Sixfields.
Oh, nice.
A week ago. Shortage of teams, and someone at the club basically said, any chance you can get a team together last minute? And I was like, she rang me on the Monday. The tournament's on Friday. I thought I need to get it was 6-a-side, so I need 8 lads. Put it in the group chat. To be fair, some of the lads called in sick, get days off work. So they did well, and. We won it, so it was class. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even expect to win it, but we were top quality, and I loved playing on Sixfields. It was a good laugh. It was a good laugh, and then I think we won. Well, we won it a crate of Carlsberg each, and then we won a couple of trophies. So yeah, it was a good day, day out. But then other than that, no Cobblers anymore, and no Sunday League. So it's a bit like, what do you do on the weekend? It's just like.
What do people do that don't like football? I don't get it.
I know, yeah.
I hate it. You just sit there and you just think like. Of course, now you had the Championship final when you had League 1 and League 2 finals, and now of course you had the Premier League yesterday as well, and that's it now. Well, not Sunday, sorry, and now that's it. We've got nothing all summer, and it's just like.
Yeah, rubbish.
So glad I have to scout the Peruvian leagues and all them rubbish leagues as well. So at least I've got something left to watch.
Was there much interest in yourself in the League 2 player final? Obviously, Cobblers got promotion.
Yeah, no, I'm glad for Carlisle. I think Stockport. It was obvious that they had quite a bit of money. And they've done well to be in the position they were, but I'm glad for Carlisle. I think Carlisle will struggle next year though, but I think they've done well. I think I'm just so glad the Cobblers have got out of League 2, because that League 2 next year has got some big budgets. You've got Stockport, you've got Notts County, you've got Wrexham, you've got Gillingham now being backed. You've got some big budgets down there. Doncaster have had a good transfer window so far already. So I'm just glad Cobblers are out of that League 2, because I think League 2 is going to be real tough this season. But no, I was glad for Carlisle. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because both teams, I didn't really care who was up. Stockport's a bit closer than Carlisle. So
yeah, that's the way that I looked at it.
And I think,
Tuesday night to Carlisle is not the one, is it?
But no, big respect to Carlisle, and they'll it's going to be tough for them next year, like the Cobblers. But I'm sure they'll do it right.
My uncle's a Carlisle fan. He lives up in Barrow, but I don't know. He's a Carlisle fan.
Yeah. It's such a long trek. It's horrible, but every time I've been, we haven't lost, so it's not too bad.
Good man. So obviously, we'll touch on the Championship final. Obviously, Luton getting up.
Yeah, no, it's class, wasn't it? Big respect for Luton, and I remember a few years back when I think it was 2015-16, Cobblers won the league, and I think we played Luton near the end of the season. And there was this one fan that stayed behind just to watch celebrations, and it was reposted a few days ago when they'd won it, and it was quite nice to see. Of course, 6 years ago, Luton playing against the Cobblers, and now they're going to be playing against the Manchester boys.
Yeah.
So big respect to them, and it just shows trust your manager, trust the recruitment, trust your staff, and focus off the pitch, and they've done fantastically well. It won't be too long till they get the new ground as well, which will take them to a new level. But gotta love Kenilworth Road. Right. Imagine Erling Haaland, 10,000 Luton fans
picking the ball out of someone's back garden.
I think it's going to be really hard, because of course I think it's about 10 grand or 10,000, isn't it? So you probably got 800, 900 only in the away end.
Yeah.
So teams, like Newcastle, big away following, they're going to sell that in seconds. So it's going
Man United still won't sell that side out.
Sure they would.
So it's going to be real tough, and I think they can get a couple of wins here and there, but it just depends on who they get in the summer. That's going to be a real big, big problem for them. But I think it's the big teams that have gone down from the Prem, so you might see a few players from here and there, and a few players from Leicester, a few players from Southampton. But
I think they'll keep hold of Cody Drammer because he's on loan from Leeds at the minute, and I think
Yes.
because they've gone up and we've gone down, I think he'll going back into the Prem. To be fair to him.
Yeah, no, I think as well. I think a few players. I don't think they'll lose anyone, will they?
No.
I watched that Adebayo, their striker. I thought he was top class.
And that lad that's completed all stages of the football pyramid. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, that's class, isn't it? From the National League right up.
How does it sit with you that obviously, I know they're moving into a new ground soon, but they've got to spend 10 million to bring their current ground up to.
Yeah, I think what
standards.
they've got to do. I think they've got to do undersoil heating and a few other bits in it. But I think
the floodlights is an issue as well.
Yeah, well, just look a bit tiny, doesn't it? But I think what do they say? I think the Championship is the most. The richest game in football, the playoff final, isn't it? You win a stupid amount of money, and I think it's they'll get what they need to do. But Luton will be known for that ground.
Yeah.
I think they'll be a force at home. I think they'll struggle away. I think they'll struggle in the big crowds. Big crowd. Sorry, but at home, I think they're going to be a real force. There's not going to be many away fans. They'll sell out every week. No shadow of a doubt. And then I just hope it'd be great if they stayed up. It'd be amazing. But like I said, they've got to have a really good, a good summer. Bring some good players in, bring some big names in, as big as they can get, and try and stay up.
Yeah, no. Do you think that'd be obviously who else come up with them? It was
Sheffield.
Yeah.
And Burnley.
Burnley, yeah, yeah. Do you think obviously, Company bringing Burnley up? He's been touted with a Spurs job and that. And do you think he'll stay there?
Yeah, no, I think he just signed a new 5-year deal, didn't he?
Has he?
Yeah, I think he signed it a few months back, but I think he'll do really well. They've been class this season in the Championship.
See, they have been class, but I think it's because they've brought in Premier League standard players in the Championship. Some of the ones that winger they've signed from Anderlecht, or they've had him for a season, he's Premiership standard straight away.
And they didn't lose many, did they?
No.
They didn't lose many, apart from Weghorst. But again, he wasn't really that great in the Prem for them.
He wasn't that great for United in the Prem.
No,
either.
you know what I mean? And that's another interesting one, isn't it? Because he returns back to Burnley next year. What does Company do? Does he play him? Does he want to stay? Does he want to go?
Interesting one, isn't it?
Can't see him wanting him.
But I think Burnley again, like you said, they've already got Premier League players. They just need a few more. I can't see him going down. I think they'll have a good solid season.
Yeah.
I think Company, again, if he gets a good mid-table Prem finish, more clubs will be looking at him because what a year he had in the Championship. I didn't really know how much he did at Anderlecht. I wasn't really paying attention.
I think he did pretty well. I think he was near the top end of the table. He might have won it, in fact. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I'd like to see him move on. Maybe become Pep's predecessor, maybe one day. But who knows?
Nice. Obviously, we're going to touch on a couple of your roles. Obviously at Cobblers, BBC Radio Northampton as well. You were there at Tranmere when your last day of the season.
Yeah, what a day.
Was it? What was the feeling like? Did you go up on a team coach, or were you?
Nah, sadly not. Nah. So I went down. We went down in the morning because the team, of course, stayed over. Long journey up. I went down in the morning. Got to the ground nice and early. Of course, the players then came. We saw them. Nerves, of course, in the camp, but confidence as well. And it was just, when that goal went in, you just think, hold your nerves now.
Yeah. And who else was it going to be apart from him?
I know. What a class season he's had. He's just been unreal. He's been here so many years and he's had so much hate. Some people just don't like him, but I think he's a top player. And what a finish! What a strike! He's just he was so full of confidence. And if we've got any chance to stay in the League One next year, he's got to be on fine form, and then we'll have a good chance. But now it was class. When that, of course, I think Stockport missed a pen, and then the fans ran on, and then of course they had to get them off, and then I think it was heat at the moment really, wasn't it? And then when that whistle went, it was just like, right, what do I film?
Yeah.
Because you have 2,000 Cobblers fans running at you. You've got players doing all sorts. You're like, right, what do you film? But it was amazing, it was just a great day, you know. And then it was a bit of a shame because the Tranmere staff didn't want the Cobblers fans on the pitch. So when they eventually got the players down the tunnel and the fans back off the pitch, they weren't letting the fans. They weren't letting the players back out,
right,
just because it was a policing issue, which was a bit of a shame because, you know, the fans just wanted that, you know, that last goodbye until next year, and you know, of course, then Brady runs out and just jumps over and goes, "Give me 2 minutes with him," and the fans are really good. You know, they stayed, they didn't come any further, and it was just great capturing that. And then in the dressing room as well, you know, they'll just go mental, and it was just a great day. And you know, I've supported Cobblers all my life, and I never thought I'd be in that position where I'd just be with them. You know, some of that's like Aaron McGowan. He's really nice. He always, you know, we always have a 5-10 minute chat pitch side. He, you know, asks how I'm doing, how Country Hawks are doing. You know, he loves it really. When we had a cup final a few years back, he got all the boys to send me good messages and stuff. So
I did see them.
They're really good lads. And you know, I'm just so glad they did it. Brady as well, you know, top man. And it was a great day to remember.
No, good. What was obviously the way that Cobblers missed out last year? Did that play into the pre-game nerves? Going into this game? Yeah,
because, you know, I think we had to. Of course, we were better this year because we had to win.
Yeah.
We won. That was it. We'd done it. But of course, last year, you know, season 4. So what happened? You know, Barrow. And
horrible sitting in the ground watching it on a big screen. That was terrible.
You know what? And it got to a point. I was at that game. It got to a point. You wasn't even watching the Cobblers Barrow game. You were just sitting there scrolling through Bristol Rovers Twitter. You know, and every goal was going in. Just thinking, oh no, it's going again. Yeah, that was the horrible day. And I think that, again, you're right, that was in the back of their minds. And they just did what they needed to do, got the win, held on. You know, it wasn't the best performance, but got the goal, sat back, you know, and on another day, Tranmere could have got a couple because, you know, they weren't bad in front of goal. So I'm just glad we got it over the line when we did. And like I mentioned, of course, there's, you know, some big teams coming down from the Championship as well. You know, what Reading are down.
Wigan as well, and it Bolton.
Wigan already starting with a -4.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, of course they are.
I don't really know what's going on off the field there. So that could be a bonus for the Cobblers. So
I think after that Tranmere game, I think Sammy Hoskins got a FIFA Team of the Season card as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah, no. Again, he's been class, isn't he? Like, he's just been top notch. You just see, like, he's so full of confidence, because a player out of confidence wouldn't have touched that down and hit that like he did at Tranmere. He just did it so casually.
I think with that kind of thing, it's raised the profile of the game within younger people as well, because a lot of kids that I coach, or a lot of kids that my lad knows, all know Sammy Hoskins as a Cobblers player, rightly so, but as a Cobblers player that's got a Team of the Season card.
Nah, you're right, yeah.
So
absolutely.
It raises that younger demographic profile that they want to go and watch Sammy Hoskins because they've played with him on FIFA. They want to see him in person now, so it's always a good start.
Nah, you're right. I bet. Yeah, I'd love to know how many games he's played on FIFA, like his card. Because I bet it's good for the younger generation to see. You know, try these cards and see like, oh, Sam Hoskins. Oh, I love him. Good FIFA player.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, he's done pretty decent. So yeah, now I'm good. I'm happy for him, and I don't think he'll go. So we should be alright with him next season. Like I said, if he gets 20 goals in League One, we've got a massive chance of staying up.
100%, yeah.
You know,
inevitably, there's going to be some outs though as well, I presume, at the club.
Yeah, again, I guess it's hard, isn't it? You know, you've got, like I mentioned earlier, you've got big budgets in League 2. Wrexham in League 2 now. You know, there's no shadow of a doubt. They've got the top players on their shortlist. So you just got to see what happens, really. You know, I think we won't lose a lot, I hope. But again, it's, you know, if the money's right and the wages are right and it's good for both parties, then.
Do you reckon we'll get Charlie Good back on loan? Because I don't think he's played a lot for Brentford.
I'd love Charlie Good back on loan. It'd be great, wouldn't it? I don't even know what he's doing now. He's never really hit the ground running, has he, since he left us. I think he left us at wrong time because Brentford just progressed too quickly for him, didn't they? They made that jump to the Prem straight away. And no disrespect, Charlie Good's not a Premier League player, is he?
No. I think Brentford do that kind of Moneyball thing, though, don't they? They buy players on stats rather than reputation.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I think he had a bit of some family issues as well, which put him out for a few months. And then we went on loan to Sheffield, didn't he? Then he got a red card on his debut, and it's never really worked out. You know what Charlie Good needs is a 46-game season of regular games, and if he comes back to the Cobblers, I know Cobbers would have him in a heartbeat. But
wasn't there some banter with, is it Jeff Horsfield as well? Weren't fans giving him grief over the weekend on Twitter?
Oh, Fraser Horsfield?
Oh yeah, Fraser
yeah. Well, of course. Well, again, he left. You know, he left on good money. It's quite funny when he signed for Stockport. If you look on the comments on Instagram, it's just all the Cobbers players saying, like, for example, Skipper, and putting like money notes instead of the S, and you know. So it was there was quite a few of them. So it was quite interesting, quite funny to when you read that. Of course, there's no hiding that Stockport had a big budget this year. So you know, but yeah, again, it's a shame for Horsell is in League Two, but you know, I reckon Stockport will do it next year. No shadow of a doubt. They'll be up there. They'll be top 3 next year. They've got quality players already. They'll get more players. They'll add on that in the summer, and you know, they'll do well, I think.
So looking at your role within the club, then obviously, how did that come about? I mean, was it through the uni, like?
Yeah, no, it wasn't even that. I think, when was this? This was 2 years ago. Yeah, this was 2 years ago, and when I kind of started out doing journalism, everything was kind of unpaid for me. I didn't really have. I had my own like sports show on this local community station called NLive Radio, which we're looking to restart in my last year at uni actually. And you know, I had my own podcast, and I'd been on Radio Northampton a few times, and as a guest and stuff like that. A bit of work experience, and I just did this and that, and then I knew I was going into the first year of uni, and I just wanted something else, and I literally just put the question out to the cobblers, and I said, look, can I get some work experience this year? Not expecting anything, just maybe come sit in the press box one day, you know. And then they turned around and said, we'd love to have you, would you like to film from a different angle? And I was like, whoa, like that is just, I wasn't expecting that at all. I was expecting them to just say, yeah, maybe come to the press box one game and sit with us, you know. But to offer that straight away, it was like, whoa, it was amazing. And then did that for the first year, did it all on a phone, so it was decent, you know, but it could have been better. Of course, the phone, it's not bad filming on a phone, but you know, you've got limitations. Of course, you know, they didn't go that far. And then I did a couple of away games, and then this season happened. We got, you know, a good camera, so that really took the content up to the next level. And then did a few away games as well, and it's just been great, you know. Like I said, the players are top quality, you know. Some of the players really have you know, Max Deitch and, like I mentioned, Arron Parkinson, both always, you know, check up on me and see how I am, and
yeah, nice.
You know, it's really nice when you get that. You know, you send all the goals over to the players on Instagram, and they love it. You know, they love the celebrations. Yeah. You know, where you're standing, you know, I want to come and celebrate. You know, and then it's just great. I absolutely love it. It's I'm just, because I've been a Cobbers fan all my life, so I just don't see it as work. No. I just see it as fun. Yeah. You know, good practice with a camera. Like I said, I did a few away games this year, and I'm looking to do it next year. We are looking. I know the club and I are looking for a sponsor to sponsor the videos, just to take that content to the next level. You know, some of the videos did really well. The Tranmere video, you know, got nearly 5,000 views. And then, of course, in League One, you've got bigger teams, bigger fan base, so you're going to get more views on the video. So they're really keen to get a sponsor in and, like I said, take that content to the next level. But it's just great. I just love doing it, you know, just filming the boys. I just, like I said, I've grown up as a young fan, and it just don't seem like work. And I think if whatever you do in your, you know, career, if you do something if you do something you enjoy, it's great.
So obviously, looking to take it to the next level, then will you be likely to be at every game next year?
Yeah, that's the plan. I want to try and do every home and away, and just you know, it's going to be difficult next year, because basically what we do is, we haven't had many this year, but if the result doesn't go away, we don't put anything out, because it doesn't do well on views. You know, you get some very angry Cobbers fans, why are you posting a 3-0 loss, you know, so we don't do it. Of course, next year you've got that issue of there may be a couple of 4 or 5-0ers, you know, maybe there could be a couple games where we get 3-0 losses, so you don't put a video out. So it's just we've got to sort out that balance of how much you know, what you do, and of course that comes with a sponsor as well. You know, they want their video out, they want their logo out, but if we lose 6 games in a row, 3-0 for example, you know, there won't be a video for them to see. So again, we've got to figure all that out, but like I said, hopefully next year home and away will be great to to watch them, and there's some big grounds next year. Some great media facilities as well. So.
Where are you looking forward to going most? Have you had a look yet, or are you not bothered yet?
No, I haven't really sat down and looked.
It's got to be the Reebok, isn't it? Is it still called the Reebok?
Bolton.
Yeah, no. Well, I've done Bolton as a fan, but not as a So I like to see Bolton. Haven't done Blackpool.
Derby in there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Derby. Of course, the Cobblers played Derby. I've done Derby as a fan. Back when we did the FA Cup.
I've never seen a winning game for any side at Derby.
No.
Oh.
I've been there 6 times as a Leeds fan and not seen a single win.
Don't go this year for the Cobblers, in. Stay away from that one.
Yeah.
But there's some big rounds. But then also you've got your Bristol Rovers, and you've got your little teams like Oxford, and so
Peterborough.
Well, yeah.
Our smallest team in the league, that man.
that would be a really good game as well. But we never beat Peterborough.
No.
We never beat them. I think the best we've got in the last few years is the 1-1 draw. So it's just one of them. We never beat them, and well, hopefully I'd love to beat them. I'd love to do it, but
You never know. Obviously, you're in amongst, obviously you said the team and Brady there. What's your relationship with Brady?
Yeah, good. Again, we kind of, I've never really had a sit down chat with him and such, but we'll always say hello and stuff like that. We like I said, I don't really speak to him that much, really, in a case, but I know he's a big fan of the videos. He always says about, he likes the content and stuff. I think there was one game where they had to literally use my footage to figure out whether a goal was or not. I think it was, I think 2 Cobbers players both wanted the goal, and it's like, where'd you get the footage? They were like, Brady was like, go then, see the footage kind of thing. And I was told that they were, I was told that they looked at the footage to kind of see who got the goal. So, but yeah, no, I think it's great that Brady, and I think all the coaching staff are from Northampton as well, which that creates so much of just a stronger bond with the town. Brady wants it more. He's a local lad, and he knows what it means to people in Northampton. We've had previous managers, no disrespect to any of them, but they're not from here. They don't know, and they haven't had that connection with the fans. But Brady. It's
okay. You can name Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. It's fine. Don't worry.
That was a horrible time, wasn't it? That was, I remember. I think his last game was Peterborough when we lost 2-0, and it was just I can't. That was a real shame.
Great striker, not so great coach.
Yeah, we had such a good squad as well. On paper, because we had the investors as well. Big name like Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. We had players like Matt Crooks on our books. Now in the Championship as well. Ash Taylor again didn't work out for him, but big name. We should have. We were top end League One, easy, that team, and it just all fell apart. It was just horrendous. But I think Cobblers learned the hard way. Don't do that again. And we signed so many players in January. They all left in the summer. Here's 6 months. It's just like, but I think they've learned. But yeah, that was a real sad time. Yeah.
How prepared are they? Do you know any inside information? How prepared they are for next year? What's their expectation next year?
No, honestly, I don't. No, like I said, I don't really know what's going on inside the camp. Of course, the boys are on pre-season. They've just had a holiday. It's all on social media, and I don't really know what the feelings like in the camp. Of course, they want to do well, and again, I guess like most Cobblers fans as well, it's realistic. You're going into big league, big budgets. So you're not looking. Of course, they'd love to win every game, but they're not looking to go straight back up to the champ. But I reckon they'll want to just try and stay above that bottom 4.
Yeah.
I can give you a little bit of insight to that. So when we were at the Cobblers Cup, I went in to see the referees because they were using the Cobblers dressing room.
Yeah.
We went into the gym bit, and there was I won't name them because it's not really fair on them, but there was a few Cobblers players in there starting their pre-season already. They were wanting to go, ready to go.
Yeah, nice. That's what you want, isn't it? I say it's a big task ahead, but I'm sure Brady will have them prepared for it.
Yeah, again, we know you want to add. When the retain list come out, there's a few that left as well, and a few that have been offered contracts. So again, that will come out in the next couple of weeks or so, whether they stay on, and then you've got if they don't say yes to their contracts, who their replacements are, and who can we get to bolster the squad. So it's all about recruitment, isn't it? You get we've got a good solid core, which is great, and again, hopefully that core doesn't taken away by a few leaving, but we just need a few more on that core, and then we've got a decent little team next year. So
how did you feel about, was it Norman, the Canadian lad?
Yeah. Well, it was a bit of a strange one when we even signed him, but we had so many injuries, centre back issues. It was like you know, I was thinking, blimey now, you know, eventually, you know, the coaching staff has to get their boots back on.
Samo's getting a call up, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was generally, I don't know if I've ever seen it in football. It was just game after game. People were just pulling their hammies, you know, doing everything. It was mental. And then we just, you know, this random Canadian comes out of the books, and you're like, well, he's played a few games here and there, a few games in the Scottish League, you know, and you're just a bit like, well, we've got no one else, give him a go, you know. A few of our academy centre backs are injured, so we had no one. So for him to step in, he didn't do bad at all. Got a goal. He didn't do bad. He'd come in and done a great shift. But again, I think if we wouldn't have gone up, he'd have been a good option as a backup. But realistically, you know, with our centre backs returning, he's probably going to add a couple. He's not going to play. But I think now he leaves Northampton with 6-7 games under his belt in League One. If he wants to stay in England, I'm sure there's loads of, you know, a good couple League Two, National League sides that will look at him and go, right, he could be a good centre back option for us. So I think it's done him the world of good as well.
I know he's got massive ambitions, isn't he? I see he's talking about playing for Canada and that.
Yeah. And again, he was never bad for us. He never did anything wrong. You know, I remember when he first came in, he played the John Guthrie role when Guthrie was injured. You know, he was the one who was spraying the balls, and he had a big part in the team. So I was quite surprised by that. But again, he did what he needed to do. Thank God he didn't get injured. And again, yeah, I wish him all the best. I'm sure he'll, like I said, you know, he could easily play 46 games in the National League for a team. Again, he could do a job in League Two for a team like Barrow or a team that's down the bottom. So yeah, he's been all over the place in his career. So I don't even know if he'll end up back in England or he'll go back to Scotland or Canada or. But you know what? Fair play to him.
No, I see a few people commenting on Twitter and that, saying they were surprised to let him go. Like,
yeah.
Do you reckon that's all it is? Just ambition there, just to.
Yeah, I reckon they just sat down and Brady said, look, you know, once all the centre backs are back fit, you're probably going to be 5th, 6th choice maybe. Realistically, we're not going to play. Yeah, we might, you know, realistically now we're in League One, they'll want to add a couple more centre backs to the books. So then you're going further down the pecking order.
Yeah.
You know, look, we can't offer you that contract. So I think, you know, there would have been a good chat between us.
Fair play to him though, because you could easily sit on the bench at that kind of level and get your money and not play games and just sit there and kind of waste your career away. And fair play to him that he preferred to take that choice somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. You've seen it. You know, I've seen so many clubs players who just, you know, and even just football players in general that just come to clubs for the money. And
I'm going to pull one straight out an ex-cobbler, Mark Bunn. Half of his career he spent on the bench, didn't he? Just sitting somewhere.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? Yeah. So again.
Where is he now? Do we know?
I think he's retired now, but
I think he might be a goalie coach at Cambridge.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That might be. I might be completely wrong, but yeah.
I presume when he was it Norwich he went to and spent like half his life, half his life on the bench.
Yeah, you know what you must think as a backup goalie. You know, it must be a nice, easy life.
I get it when you're like 38, 39, 40. Like, was it Lee Camp that went to Man United for a season?
Scott Carson just signed a new contract at City, isn't he?
I think he's more off the field though, Scott Carson. It sounds like he's quite a big part of the dressing room, which is mental to think.
Well, he at Wigan for a bit as well.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
It
was. Yeah, I don't really know, but someone like, I think again Scott Carson's English, didn't they? So I think they need English players for Champions League qualification, don't they? But yeah, that's a weird one, Scott Carson, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But if it works, clearly works for Man City because they're doing so well. And Pep Guardiola always says, doesn't he, that Scott Carson's quite important. It's like
because they had Richard Wright as their third choice before, didn't they?
Yes, yeah.
Still on, it's right. It's alright, just checking. We're all good. Roles elsewhere then, we're moving away from the Cobblers, we're looking at your BBC Radio Northampton. What was the crack there? You say you just covering a few shows or?
Yeah, again, like, it was literally the same time I got the Cobblers gig. It was probably 3 months after. I, again, just literally after work experience, got a few days, you know, with the breakfast show and, you know, all different kind of shows. And then clearly impressed because they said, do you want to come back and work a few shifts? And I was like, wow, yeah, absolutely. So took on a freelance role there. I was still working part-time at my part-time job because I wasn't getting enough there. And it came to about March last year that I was having to keep turning down shifts at the BBC because I was having to work part-time job because of course you're contracted there and I can't really just. It wasn't a place that I could just call in sick. It was, you know, it was quite a small number of staff, so I couldn't really do it. And I sat down with my parents and said, like, this is where my future is. You know, no disrespect, I don't want to work this part-time job anyway. It's just doing it to get a bit of money in. I was like, I just need to bite the bullet and quit. They were like, you know what, while you're living at home, while you're still at university, just do it. You know, and if you don't get many shifts, we'll support you and this and that. And I did it. And it was literally like meant to be. The day after, like, a couple of people left and they were like, right, we're going to offer you regular shifts.
Oh, nice.
And I was like,
Perfect.
jeez, like, what the hell? Like, that
Nice.
is just mental. Like, you can't write that, you know. And ever since, yeah, I've just done loads of stuff. Just, yeah, working on different shows. You know, worked on the mid-morning show with Bernie Keith, which is quite a popular show on the station. You know, Bernie Keith's like a local celebrity in Northampton, so yeah, it's been great. I love it. It's I love working there, and it's good fun because it don't feel like work. I've never really had a bad day at work, so it's just I'm quite in a privileged position at the minute. I've never really gone into work. Of course, you have a few days when you're like, oh, I want to stay in bed, or you know, but like most people do. But I've never, you know, I always have a great day, and you know, I've worked on a few sports shows as well, which of course that's the route I want to go down to. I have more fun working on the sports shows and doing that side of it.
You've done much with the Cobbler show there with Jake and.
Well, yeah, there's like I said, I've done sometimes on the back side of it. I've kind of been in the production side of it. I'm really keen to really push on, you know, get myself more involved in the sport there. And again, the Cobbler show's a great little hour, isn't it? Yeah. You get a fan on every week and a player on every week, and it's a good time. I always think the hours just flies by though, and you just think you want more than an hour with the player, but it's good fun, and I think if anyone, it's a good industry to go down. It's a hard one. You know, I think I did when I started college. I did like 2.5 years of unpaid everything. I just did so much just free stuff for people, just to get my name out there, just get a byline on, you know, a website and stuff. It took me hard graft, so it's all paid off, but I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet. So it's I'm just glad that I'm in a good position now. You know, I'm still at uni, and I've got good, you know, a few side hustles here and there. So yeah, it's decent.
Can I ask, what is the long term role? Would you want your own show, or you got?
Yeah, you know, I don't even know. Like, I'd love to. Again, I've got my hands in so many pies at the minute. You know, I do stuff I do stuff on match days at the Cobblers, and you know, it's like, do you want to go down the media route, working at a football club? You know, or do you want to work as a journalist? You know, do you want to work at Sky Sports, where they send out weekly reporters each week? So there's so much. Again, I don't really know. It's a tough industry, really. There's not many jobs out there. And so yeah, I'm just got to wait and see, really.
Yeah,
what pops up.
So one big story you did do for BBC Northampton was you covered Daventry Town and the issues going on there.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting story, really. It was part of my. It was luckily I had to do it for uni projects as well. I had to do a short documentary at university, so I managed to hand that in like that as well. And then I think shortly after we did it, the breakfast show spent a morning with Daventry Town, because I think they needed some volunteers and stuff. So they kind of touched on the story a bit more in depth with Steve and the club. But yeah, that story was, I kind of, like I said, I knew I needed it for uni, and I needed the story, and I was looking out there, and then you just see on Twitter, you know, Daventry Town manager that leaves, players leave, and you're like, well, something's not right here. So I just started making a few calls, and it was a really interesting story. Again, I'm going to have to try and get it out there and on social media, because it was really interesting how it all faded out. When I met Arron Parkinson, who was the ex-manager, said some really interesting stuff that you never expect to say. Basically, you know, we spoke for ages, and long story short, just wasn't happy with the club. There was a few promises that weren't made. You know, the budget. Arron said the budget was there. They said they cut the budget because the budget wasn't there, but the budget was there, so they could have carried on. You know, Arron told me that the club wanted to go down. They didn't want to be at that level. You know, and as a football fan hearing that, you know, whatever team you support, you're flipping out. You know, you don't want to be dropping down. You know, you're telling your chairman, telling your club, you know, to lose the games effectively. It's just a horrible feeling. You know, Arron really believed that with the 10 games left, they had majority of the teams were bottom half, so they reckon they could have stayed up. So it was all
the running did look pretty capable of wins. To be fair,
wasn't
didn't
it? You know, they played quite a few teams down the bottom, and they weren't long gone. Again, it would have been tough, but they could have done it. Arron said, you know, they were literally trying to get a few more players in through the door. You know, a couple from Northampton on loan and stuff like this, and so yeah, it was really eye-opening hearing Arron's story. Of course, legally, in any story like that, if you have to get the opposition's point of view, because legally you're putting yourself in a difficult situation.
Did Daventry offer you a retort from that? Or?
Well, basically, when I heard from Arron, because I always tell my uni lecturers about it, and I told my uni lecturers all about the story, and they were really keen on it. But they said, you do have to speak to the chairman, because you'll put yourself at risk, liable. You know, you have to give him a chance to respond. So made a few calls, managed to get the chairman's number, and I said, look, are you right for an interview? This is the story. Your ex-manager has said this, this and this. I need you to respond on it. So I drove down to Daventry, met him. He responded to all of it, and he had his chance to stay. Of course, you had two sides of the story. You had a manager's side of the story that wanted to keep his team up and believed he could, but you also had a chairman's side of the story that saw it long term and thought, we can't afford to stay here, we need to drop down. So it was two sides to the story.
Did you, I mean, the conflict of interest between the manager and the chairman, was everything adding up? Was it all?
Yeah.
Was there any differences in their stories?
I think there was differences, which was the shame, and I think the worst bit about the story was, I spoke to both of them. I spoke to one of the players who told me how it all folded out, and then I also spoke to the fans, because that made the story. And the worst bit I felt was the fans didn't know anything. The fans just thought that the manager left, and he thought, and some of the fans said, oh, it's a bit of a shame the players left as well. But they didn't know the story that they were told that they wanted to go down. That's why the players left, because they were playing for no reason. They were playing to lose, and I found it quite sad that the fans didn't know the real story. But yeah, of course, you know, you had two types of different stories. But, you know, when the manager said the budget is there, and the chairman said the budget technically isn't there, but it is. So you've always got that story. Again, you've got eventually, when I put the story together and made the piece, it really did sound like, you know, at the end of it, after playing it, you know, to my parents and peers at university and colleagues, at the end of it, you did feel bad for the chairman.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's a long project as a club, and he feels like they can't stay in that division, they can't afford it, and it makes sense to drop down. You know,
because the distance to travel for so many away days is quite far, isn't it?
And they weren't getting, you know, I was told that Daventry were only getting 150, 200 through the door on usual home games, where teams like, I remember Hales Owen was their example, that get 1,000 through the door, and when Hales Owen came to Daventry, they brought about 500. So they said,
it's right in the middle of like a housing estate, though, isn't it?
Daventry,
No, Hales Owen.
Oh, is it really? Yeah, but I think Daventry, that's what they said. They said they haven't got enough people through the door. They haven't got enough sponsors, and again, that was another thing that Arron said. He said that the club didn't have enough money coming in, which was the main problem. So it was. To be fair,
that's the same at lots of local non-league clubs, obviously for those people that don't watch non-league, it's something that you should really be supporting. When you're, as an example, if the Cobblers are away and it's Carlisle away, and you don't fancy going there, one of your local non-league clubs is just as good at this point on a Saturday.
Yeah, I absolutely love going down to non-league games. Like you said, when not often now, but when I was younger, a few years back, if Cobblers were away and I couldn't go because, you know, I was working or just again couldn't really afford it. I'd go and watch it, a Cookno, a Silby. So yeah, I used to love it. And again, that's why I did feel bad for the chairman. But from a journalistic point of view, it was a really good story that came out on all ends of story. Hearing from the manager's side of view, the chairman's point of view, the players. Jarvis Wilson, who I interviewed, he's been around the non-league a few years. He told me that they found out the news over Zoom. So it's a bit like, wow, that's mental. Being told over Zoom that that's it, your season's done with 10 games to go, nowhere to go. He said, you're thinking, well, what's next? So it was a really good story, and it was. I'm glad it came out the way it did. When I produced it. So, but yeah, it was. I think it's just a problem in non-league football in the whole, isn't it? That the money is a problem everywhere. And it sounded like they'd be more financially beneficial dropping down the division, you know. But then my thinking of it all is, okay, it's fine to drop down, but then what happens if they have a fantastic year next year, win the league, go straight back up?
Yeah.
What do you do then?
How do you,
What's
from
next?
an outside point of view, do you think how will they go on next year? They got
Again, since the story, I don't really know. I follow them on social media and I've seen they've got a new manager and I don't know what recruitment's like, but
I think fair play to them though. I think they put through at least 6 or 7 under-18 players into the first team.
oh really? Yeah, because of course the last 10 games they did play the academy boys, didn't they? And I think they did get a few difficult results, but I think they got I think they only lost 4-0 to Hales Owen in their first game, which they could have lost 10-11.
they've got a massive media presence, haven't they, Household?
Yes, yeah. I think
To be fair, I think Daventry have as well on their socials. They're very
Yeah. I think again when I went down to speak to the chairman and the fans, I think it's a fantastic club with a lot of potential, and I've got nothing bad to say about the club. And again, it was a great story that came out, and it was interesting to hear everyone's side of the story. And like I said, when I did play it to family, friends, and colleagues and stuff, they all did say eventually, you do feel bad for the club in a way that it's gone like this. But again, it was a shame that it happened, and you don't want it to happen to any club in a way, especially your local ones.
just a big shame the night that we all met for the first time was a 9-0 drubbing of Spalding, wasn't it? Like,
Gosh, yeah. But again, the fans I spoke to that day were excellent. They were telling me all about their Daventry histories, so it was really interesting to hear how they all started supporting Daventry, what they thought of the issues, and they all really said, we need more money, we don't have enough people for the door, we need more sponsors. So it seems to be there is that one issue. They just need to get more people through the door and more sponsors. But like you said, I think that's a problem at every single non-league club.
Just to back up your point there about it being a good club, I mean, that night we got on really well with the owners, didn't we? And everyone at the club was really nice and welcoming. And I've seen a few Twitter polls and stuff. It's one of the best grounds that was in the division last year as well. People
Nice
saying,
little. We had
it is a good ground.
us and the league team Hunsbury. We had our final at Daventry, so it's a nice little pitch, isn't it? You've got a nice
dressing rooms are really good as well.
You've got
Yeah.
nice facilities.
That balcony's cool,
balcony's
isn't it?
class. I think it's a nice setup. I think it really
You enjoyed a
is.
few beers on that balcony, you kid, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great little facility. Parking's decent as well. It's not too bad.
They've got the 5-a-sides next to it, and the youth section is literally just in the car park.
Nice little football club, nice little setup. So pictures are right when we played on it. Looked decent when we went to watch it. So yeah.
Would you say if they got the right sponsors in and the right people there, it's got a lot of potential? That
Just
club?
need again. I think it's a problem with all non-league clubs. They just need a bit more funding. They need, by the sounds of it, they need. Of course, they'd love to have 1,000 people through the door like Hales Owen, but they need 300, 400 through the door. I think they just need a few more through the door. They just need the people of Daventry to go along and watch their local side.
Hopefully, like they say, no one wants to drop down league, but now they have. Start getting a few results. From
Again,
people.
that was what the chairman said. He said now we've dropped down a level. If people see that Daventry are winning, they're more likely to go watch. Whereas you won't go and watch if Daventry are losing 9-0 every week. But if you see the results and see, let's go watch a game. Daventry have won their last 8 games. Let's go watch them. They seem like a decent side. Football fans in general might not know in depth what league certain teams are in. They won't go, Daventry are a step 5 team, we ain't going to watch them. They'll just go, Daventry win a couple of games, let's go watch them. So, it's not like not many people do know the pyramid and stuff.
No, nice. You mentioned your team there, Hunsbury Hawks. What's your... You play for them or you just...
Nah, you know what? Well, actually, I did...
Yeah, we've been trying to figure this out for 2 weeks now. Looking all over socials thinking, is he a player, chairman?
No, well, of course, Cal Harris runs the club. So I just do the social media stuff for him.
Right.
And just... Again, we're like a family, really, so we all just kind of take part. We played against Spinney, AFC Spinney in a friendly before their final on the weekend. And I put the boots on then, so put the skipper on as well. Yeah, it was right. I actually didn't do that bad. The parents loved it. The parents kept saying, you did your part. So I'm waiting for that contract next year. But no, listen, I just love watching them. I don't really mind. Like I said, I do the social media for them, and like I said, we're just a family, really. There's loads of us that go watch, and we're a good community group. So it's
Got a couple of good boys there, like Jabs, and is it Connor Brunson as well? Does he play for
no,
you
we
guys?
haven't got Connor.
But does he not? But he knows those guys.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
yeah, no, he's in that kind of group. Yeah, but yeah, we are. I think
Yeah, Connor's one of their coaches at Diamonds as well, so that's kind of how I know Connor.
Yeah. No, I think Jake Abrams is signing on next year as well. Of course, it's a year. He couldn't have signed this year because he's too young, but he will be signing on next year.
One hell of a baller at under 18s, believe me.
Yeah, Jake's a really good lad. You know, he's you know, he came in to us, of course, in a difficult time, but he's bonded with the group really well. You know, he's like a brother to all of us, and again, he's a good footballer as well, by the sounds of it. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing him play and put on a Huntsbury shirt. Of course, we've got that memorial match, and I know you're both speaking to Cal and Jake down the line, and they'll talk to you all about it. And
I think we're going to come and do some kind of like live socials
through
us as well for that match. So
yeah, I think it's, you know, I'm trying to get it on the BBC at the minute.
Yeah.
I think they're going to run that story, kind of get more people down there, and it'll be a great day. And like I said, I'll leave them to talk about that day.
Anything we can do to help with that, obviously, just let us know, and we'll
again,
share.
I think they're you know, they're Cal and you know, Richard and Julie, Luke's parents, and there's quite a few people that are working behind the scenes to make that day as special as they can do. So I know that, you know, we've got a holiday between that. All the boys are going away to Zante for a week.
Nice.
So that'll be
a week of carnage. That's what that'll be. Yeah.
And then we all come back and we play the tournament. So
oh dear.
So, obviously, I know Spinney are involved in that as well, aren't they? Are you? What's the connection between Huntsbury and Spinney? Is there?
I think a few of the lads know each other, and then Luke played a few games for Spinney, and I think we get on well with Spinney. We've got quite a few good connections with them. You know, they're a good bunch of lads. Like I mentioned, Luke played a few games for Spinney as well, and friendly games and stuff. I think we've just, you know, like I said, it helps we know them, and we've just kind of grew. You know, that we've got a good relationship with Spinney.
How do you find Richie?
Richie, yeah, he's a good lad. He's a scary guy on that dugout.
Is he the bald fellow with the tattoos on his head?
No, I don't. No. You're thinking of St David's Ricky Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, he's a scary looking fellow, isn't he?
Well,
saw him on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, we watched Spinney St David's on the weekend. Of course, St David's came out on top, but both dugouts look. Oh, you don't want to mess with them. No. But yeah, no. Again, the Spinney.
I will say that they are, both of them are good lads.
Yeah.
Nice
that's
lads.
the Spinney lads.
They are. They do look scary. They're really nice lads.
The Spinney lads are good lads. You know, we've got a lot of time for them, and like I said, we know we both play friendlies against each other now and again. So yeah, but I am playing in the memorial match.
Yeah.
We've if you've seen on the socials, they've redesigned the old Huntsbury shirt that Luke made. We've basically made it a bit more nicer because Luke made it a bit more boring, but we've jazzed it all up. Cal did a really good job on making that kit the way it has, and Jackson Grundy, really big thanks to them because they paid for the shirts.
Nice.
So we've all got names and numbers at the back. You know, LA9 on the top as well. So yeah, that's nice to all wear that. All got names and numbers and kits and stuff for the day, and it'll be a good day. I think even, you know, after all the football's been played, you know, it'll be nice to spend the evening, you know, a bit of karaoke and just have a nice.
I know we're going to touch on the tournament there with Jake and that in a couple of weeks, but where is it and when is it?
So it's at Rhodes on Saturday the 24th of June. It starts about 11ish. I think the first game kicks off at 12. But again, it's all on like social media and stuff, and nice, it'll be a nice day to you know, play, and of course, you know, for people to come along from the outside that, you know, want to support in the way they can and raise money for the charity that, you know, that Luke died of. So, you know, any help that they can would be nice. Appreciate it.
No, so yeah, let's say we're going to speak to the lads there, but we'll share everything as well anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huntsbury then, it was a good season for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, Huntsbury, you know, they had it was great, really. You know, when I think Huntsbury last year weren't. They can all say they were terrible last year. You know, what did we end? We ended up finished bottom half of League 3. Somehow got promoted, which is a bit bizarre, but we won't go into that. And then the boys just clicked this year, really did. You know, watching it from the side, they really did well. Cal and Harrison Markey, you know, they've been involved this year, taking over, and they've done really well.
Good player, Harrison, is he?
Yeah, good player, Harrison. You know, played up top for us couple of years back. Moved back to centre half now. So yeah, good player H. He's again, he's one of them, bit of a hothead. Won't mind me saying. But he's a good lad. You just got to calm him down now and again. But he's he's a good lad. Of course he's big and tall and scary as well. So, but again, now the boys clicked really well this year, and we were having a really good year. And of course, the Latimer we didn't win, and then of course when we lost Luke, it was like what kind of happens now really. And then we played the Hartwell game. We weren't, of course, we died, when you die on the Monday, the game's on Sunday, you're like, do you want to play, day by day, you think, do you want to go ahead of it? The league were really fantastic with us and said, if you don't want to play, we absolutely understand. But there was this urge that the boys just wanted to play for him. Yeah. And, we got, I think there was about 200 people down there at Arron Park, which was absolutely crazy for a Sunday league morning. And then of course the boys didn't win, which was a shame, but it wasn't about the result. It was about remembering Luke, and then from then on again the boys just kicked on, and that was always in the back of our minds that we wanted to do it for Luke. And then we didn't win the I think it was the County Cup, whatever it was called. I think it's the NFA Sunday Trophy, whatever it was. Yeah. We didn't win that, but winning the final like we did against Latimer, which was a great day, and just doing what we can for Luke's parents. Yeah, it was a tough time for us all, as a club, but we did what we can, and like I said, bringing little Jake on as well to be with us. He was in the dugout on the final. We kind of got him in the dugout. I think Cal decided to put him in, and he was so vocal. He was a really good number 2 to Cal. Didn't stop talking. I
think he's learned from a decent number 1. On a Thursday, you see.
He was absolutely making commands on the sideline, and really, he was a good lad, and I'm glad we won it.
Did the league not give him a special mission to be able to play now?
I would have loved it. It'd be nice to see Jake and
would have been the best player on the pitch as well.
I'm quite looking forward to seeing Jake and Hansbury top next year. I haven't actually seen him. I've seen him play at Blisworth's on a Saturday, but other than that, I haven't seen him properly play. So I'm quite looking forward to it. But yeah, the boys did really well this year, and of course it's a bit undecided again what league they're going to be in next year, because whether they're going to put them up 1 or 2, or hopefully not 3. No. But
did that with Brendan Sapphires, didn't they? And that didn't work out too well.
Yeah,
for them, did it?
So
it goes one way or the other, doesn't it? Tove done the same, and I think they've done all right.
Yeah, I think.
But Brendan hasn't worked out for him, obviously.
No, and I think that I know Hansbury signing a couple more boys who are top quality, so there should be a pretty decent year next year, and yeah, it should be a good. Like I said, it's a good. Ultimately, whatever happens on the pitch, it's a good family club. There's a good bunch of us that go every Sunday, and we'll go to the pub, and Yeomen of England, who sponsor Hansbury, they put on food for us at the pub and give us this little corner bit where we can watch the telly and watch the games on a Sunday. So it's a nice feeling, Of course, it's been great this year. We haven't lost any games really, so there's not really been any arguments. But yeah, it's a good club. And
have you bumped into Dyche in there yet? I know he drinks in there, doesn't he?
Who?
Sean Dyche.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't actually seen them. I know. So Steve Morrison drinks in the Yeoman, the ex-Cardiff manager. Yeah. Because he's Northampton based.
The ex-Cobblers player.
Oh yeah. Well, but yeah, no, I haven't actually seen him.
He's a scary-looking fella as well. To be fair, isn't he?
When he was at Everton, because my dad lives in Hardingstone.
Yeah.
He used to drink in the sun, didn't he?
No. He said if Everton are at home on a Saturday, he'll always be in there on a Sunday.
Oh, brilliant.
He bumped into him. He sent me a few pictures of himself with him.
But yeah, we've got we've got good sponsors at the club. Jackson Grundy sponsor us, and Yeoman. And
is there a Tech Music company?
Tech for Music, yeah. And Pyramid Pallets as well. So we've got 4 massive sponsors, which has helped so much the boys. Getting free kit and stuff, and like I said, it's ran so well by Cal and H. I know next year Cal's H is stepping down from kind of coaching. He's just going to solely play. So Cal will kind of take on full reins of the club. So yeah, again, I just kind of do the social media stuff for him. The boys love it, all the goal stuff and that, they all love it. And help Cal when I can, when we've had a bit of problems in the past with, trouble and naughty stuff we've done at finals. We've had to deal with emails and stuff, so I've helped him where I can. So I just kind of, Carl's good at what he does. He runs the club in a good manner. So.
One thing I was going to ask you there about the league, obviously it works in your favour this year, but obviously the playoffs, you finished second, went on to win the final. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Obviously with Latin All Stars finishing top.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's a bit like, because they do a similar thing in the NBA, don't they? And like, I don't really agree with it, because it's a difficult one, because of course after the game the Latimer boys like, well, we won the league, and you're like, well, technically you didn't, because the medals say League 2 final, winners. But then technically, they win the league because they've won. I think the way, if they're gonna do it, they need 2 trophies. You need a trophy for whoever wins the league regular season, and then you need a trophy for whoever wins the playoffs. Yeah. Exactly how they do it in the NBA, in the basketball in America. It just, and then Latimer finishing second in the playoff final technically, but winning the league, didn't get anything.
No.
Just seemed a bit. I think if they want to do it, fine. You just need to have a winner. If you win the league, you get a trophy for winning the league, and then you get a trophy or a plate for winning the playoffs. It just seemed a bit bizarre, really.
Did it feel good beating several Step 6 players?
Yeah, it was great. I know the 100. The boys knew that it was going to be tough. Well, we lost 2-0 to them in the season, and then we know that they've got a few Rawns boys. So we knew, there's players there that are getting paid on the Saturday. It's not going to be easy, but credit to the 100 boys.
You getting paid much on a Saturday at Rawns?
No comment.
I know a few of the 100 boys just, just kind of in a way just kept him quiet. Kept the goals. I know there's a lad called Corey who scored so many goals for him. We were looking on the league website, and again the boys just kept him quiet on the day.
Just don't let him turn.
No, that's the thing, and he did it against us in the game, in the league game in the season. So the boys knew that if they kept a few of the players quiet, they'd be decent. And then Hunts were getting a couple of early goals. It kind of just held on, and it was great. It was a great feeling.
I presume you might have got into Dino's head a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It was. I think the boys did at the back. We had H was suspended for the game because he picked up a red, annoyingly, a couple of games before that. But we had Ash and Alfie at the back, and they just kept him quiet. They did really well, and he didn't have a sniff all game.
Did Beggars play a part of that game as well? Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Maybe. Yeah, I wasn't too sure exactly who was on their team, but we knew there was a good couple of players there that play at Rawns, and we knew that if we kept a few of the players quiet, that we'd be alright, and they did. And I'm glad Andrew won it.
Good. Is it you had your end of season do yet?
Yeah, we had it on Sunday. So they did the awards then. We made this nice little kind of end of season stats. We've printed everyone out. We saw these guys making them on TikTok. They did it for every single club, and it was like an end of season stats graphic on this like A4 bit of paper with like games played, your club, goals scored, all this. It was quite interesting, and we contacted them, and they were charging quite a bit of money for it. For these sort of games.
I know a podcast that can do that kind of stuff, and real cheap for you. Like really, really cheap. Isn't that right, Jordan?
Yeah.
And
anyway.
And we just thought, you know what? I'll just try and create the design myself. So we made the design for it, and got all the boys sent me to take away, and then Richard and Julie, Luke's parents, got us all like a trophy each, just like a thank you. So that was nice, and it was nice day. Weather was lovely on Sunday, wasn't it? So it helps. But yeah, nice little day. And now, like I said, boys got a few weeks off. We go on holiday, and then we got Luke's memorial match and tournament, sorry, and then pre-season starts, and before you know it, it'll be the start of the season again.
Can't wait, can we?
Nah, literally. I know the 100 boys want to. They've got a few pre-season games, I think, already in July and August, and then the season starts in September, doesn't it? So it's like you haven't really got that long off.
No, I'm looking forward to the new season starting. But
playing a bit this season, are you, Jordan?
See how the knees hold up. We'll see how I get on.
Who signed for?
No, don't know yet. I'm going to do a bit of training first, see how I get on.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I've got to leave that belly, haven't I? We'll see. We'll see how we get on. I think we're sort of looking at hosting a tournament as well.
Nice.
I think it's one of the lads from Spinney, because he's on about getting road for the week, or for the weekend again. So, but we'll see what happens with that. Just watch his space, really.
Yeah. Like I said, the road facilities are great. That's again another reason why I think they're running
double pitch there, isn't it? They've got one out the back and the big main pitch.
Yeah. Of course, as well, you've got 4 dressing rooms. Which for 4 teams is perfect, really. and I think on the day they'll, like I said, they'll let them talk about how they're running it. But it's a great facility. They've got a main pitch, and you've got a bar, you've got good parking as well. It's a nice little place.
Yeah.
So,
no, good. I think we're trying to.
Got a strange dugout though at Road. They've got one on either side.
Oh right.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Very bizarre.
Stops the arguments, isn't it? Stops.
No.
Like
You got two there this side and two that side.
Yeah, you
Right,
do. Yeah, they must have clearly just gone. Yeah, we'll get rid of it. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird, but yeah, it's a good setup. So I'm quite looking forward to playing. Hopefully, I'll get a few minutes as well. So
yeah.
That's why we're entering that other tournament, so George gets a couple of minutes.
Well, hopefully, Rich will get a move on there at Spinney, and he'll get us a date, and we'll get a Hunsbury team involved.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah, we have to come along as long as I'm playing. That'll be a clause.
So me against you on one wing would be slow as well.
Well, I was saying that. I'm sure Bamps will want to play Boughton versus Hunsbury Hawks, so playing that one.
Yeah, nice. No, thanks for coming in. Anyway,
Not a problem.
I'm sure we'll speak to you again. Maybe at the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we get some more information on that. Obviously, good luck in the new season with the Cobblers. Hope that goes all well for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we'll drop some tweets out. Obviously, looking for sponsors and stuff as well.
Yeah, much appreciated.
So,
Yeah.
no, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, cheers, lads.
Sam, thank you very much.